It says rotate your phone. I don't want to rotate my phone. Go to the YouTube. Oh, and then, so yeah, it works. That's fine. Fuck it.
So we're gonna have to end it again. How did you end it?
Wait, no.
Oh, there we go.
Back.
Now it's ended.
But it's like that on the.
Yeah, but then people can turn it like this.
But not if they're on their computer. So I think what we'll do, you put a pan throughout the. Do we want to just do that?
What if we put it further back over here?
Okay, do it.
You hold this part and I'll let the blocks.
Woo! We're gonna get started in just a few minutes. Live stream. Sorry. If you're watching, we're not making a mistake. We just need to move it.
No, not yet. We're still
Let's move it here, actually. I think it needs to be in the. Yeah, here. Yeah. Then I'm going to take out that middle chair and then have everybody scoot.
I just finished my practice yesterday. Yes,
I mean, it's not everything. So we can just do a slight pan.
But then we're not getting the interpreters.
Yes, it is. So it has to be.
I think we should just go back and then have it be on the end. Have it be from the side.
Yeah. So it's back to the same spot.
We're getting so booked up. So
Straight along here.
Yeah, do that.
Let's try.
do a description.
We're kind of
Go Twilight. We're doing Periwinkle.
No.
You ready? Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first event of 2023 Fringe. Let the excitement and panic begin. Because I don't know about y'all, we've been talking about this. It feels like we just did this. And so we're here to do it again. So this is the venue panel. All of these wonderful people here run venues at Fringe. This is going to give you a real good understanding of how to book a venue and how to kind of operate that part of the festival. My name is Lois. My pronouns are she, her. Official description, I am a white woman with mid-length dark brown hair, wearing a black tank top and like a yellow bumblebee blazer. I'm one of your festival directors, myself and Ellen, who is around here back here, co-director of the festival. Hollywood Fringe acknowledges that we are on the unceded lands of the Tonga-Quiche, Gabrielinos, and Gabrielinos. Our statement serves as a practice as we commit to furthering our connection to the indigenous peoples past, present, and emerging in our community. Thank you to John for hosting us at the Neely Arts, this beautiful space. I can't see anything. John, one of our Fringe spaces. Shocker, right? So this workshop is being live streamed, as we can see, and recorded. So hello to everyone watching from Facebook and YouTube. Hi y'all. Carly over here, our wonderful communications director, is on those chats. So please ask questions. I'm not really sure where to look, so keep doing this. Please ask questions and try to keep, especially on those digital chats, try to keep them kind of pertinent to what we're talking about in the moment, because it's so easy to get lost in those chats. So try to keep it for questions or pertinent information that we're talking about in the moment. That would rock. Remember, if you want to rewatch this panel, or if you miss a panel that comes up, or want to look back at 12 years of Hollywood Fringe history, town halls, workshops, event footage, all of that can be found on our YouTube channel at Hollywood Fringe. So a really fun deep dive if you're brand new to the festival and just kind of want to get a better feel for what to expect. That will really ease a lot of anxiety, because you're really going to get to see what this community is all about. So today, we're going to spend an hour and a half with this wonderful panel, and then move into an audience Q&A, so you'll have a chance to ask your questions there. And after that, we move into a more informal network session. It's a chance for you to connect. There's going to be probably a few venues that pique your interest during our chat, and then you'll be able to connect with them more personally, introduce yourself, and find out if your show is going to be a good fit for that venue, and get that conversation started so that you can hopefully book that space. Question for the audience: how many people are joining for the first time? How many new participants do we have in the room? Welcome to the family. We're so happy to have you here. I want you to take a deep breath, because it's going to feel, this is the first of many workshops and informational sessions, and it will feel like a lot, but I want you to know, I promise you, this information will be told to you over and over again. This is not the first and the last time you'll hear about it. So all of this is available to you after today. So don't worry, if you digest maybe 30% of what we talk about today, you're on the right track, and you're going to be in great shape moving forward, okay? Okay, so the Hollywood Fringe, hopefully you have at least an idea, otherwise this panel could get a little confusing. We are an open access annual performing arts festival. We are centered in community. I think that is the most important thing to understand about Fringe. You can certainly dive in a different way. You can decide to do, the festival, you want to do a production, and you kind of want to just do your show and kind of stay out of the rest of it. Or you can dive in, which I highly recommend. I think we can all highly recommend, dive in, get the most of the experience. It's about community. It's about, yes, putting on an amazing show and being able to show your art to the world, but it's also about finding connections and finding opportunity beyond Fringe. Our goal as an organization, and really as a community, is to make sure the Fringe goes beyond June. What you do is beyond June. Your successes and all of that continue on beyond the festival. So dive in and get to know your community, and it might change your life. We see it happen all the time. So dive in head first. We are a nonprofit festival, which means 100% of ticket sales go back to you. We do not take a portion of your ticket sales whatsoever. And that's $3.9 million since 2010. So there's some money in the arts, but it's exciting. So we're going to pass $4 million this year, and you'll get to be a part of that. We do have a code of conduct at the festival. Hollywood Fringe is committed to creating an inclusive environment for you, our participants. Our one goal is we're a support model, right? We operate a festival, but most importantly, we create a supportive environment for you to showcase amazing, cutting-edge, diverse work. That is what our job is. So our job is to create that safe space for you to be able to take risk in your work. We want you to be kind to one another and really respect one another within the community, so that you can take those risks in your work. Because there's room for that when we have So the following are not allowed within our community: microaggressions, verbal and physical intimidation, hate speech, harassment, sexual harassment, assault, excessive consumption of alcohol and other substances.
Sorry, can you slow down just a little bit?
So, yes, absolutely. So sorry. So excessive consumption of alcohol and other legal substances, and aggressive behavior in any fashion. There's just not room for that in the community that we build here at Fringe. And it's very rarely a problem, but we need to say as much because it is important to what we do here. As you're navigating the festival, we ask that you are mindful of intention versus impact and public versus private interactions. Remember, this is, at the end of the day, a professional environment. And really, LA is a small space. So, like, you are going to work with the people, like, we all know this, right? You work with people over and over and over again, and outside of the festival. So consider that while we're all going to end up being really good friends, friendships remain lifelong friendships, and there's a closeness and a bond that takes place. That doesn't mean we can't be professional in this setting. So please keep that in mind as you navigate. And if a member of Fringe staff comes to you because of a complaint that is taking place, take that seriously. We do, we have the code of conduct for a reason, and if you break that code of conduct, that may mean the end with your run of the festival. If it's, so know that we don't want that to happen, but we can make that happen if we need to. Please keep that in mind. If you have an issue or see an issue, contact at HollywoodFringe.org is a place you can reach out to me anytime, or any staff member on site. So we're going to start wearing, this is new this year, we're going to start wearing our badges in the off season because we know that you don't know our faces. And we want to make sure that Fringe staff, they're going to like raise your hand or like roll up your badge. So these are the faces, these are the people that you can come to at any moment and come to with a problem. And we will help you resolve that and make sure that this continues to be a safe space for you. So yeah, that's going to be something we do this year. We're wearing our badges so you know who we are. And that will be helpful. And then we'll all just have an amazing time with this community and we don't have to talk about this much more, yeah? All right, so key dates. Registration opens February 1st. So close. If you haven't already, you can create a project. How many people have created a project on the site so far? Fantastic. Okay, so that's like you're already a huge way into registration. There's still plenty of time to do that. You have until April 1st, really April 10th, to get all of that settled. So nobody's behind. Don't worry. Previews are going to be June 1st through the 6th. Opening night party on June 7th. Our official festival will run June 8th to the 28th with our closing awards and party on the 28th. 20. Oh, shit. That's hilarious. I wrote down the 28th with such confidence. I can look these things myself everything. Okay, the 25th. The 25th. Thank you, everyone. That was a test. Very good.
I know it's failed.
My defense, we have worked out, I think this is my 11th festival. The dates start to blend together at a certain point. So there are only 1 or 2 days off.
Your last one's failure for you.
Yeah, that's
It's
it.
your one
Dang
per
it.
year.
The first of it too. Okay. So on April 10th, the guide is going to be finalized this year, somewhere right in there. So that's going to be the one date we all have to remember as we start to go into these next couple months, because we have a printed guide, and we have to have a deadline for a printed guide because things happen after we're done with it. So know that. Get registered by April 10th. So upcoming events and program deadlines. Tomorrow we have off-season office hours at the Fringe from 7 to 9. Thank you, Pedrick. We're there every month during the off-season. So that's your chance to come and get to know the Fringe community, ask staff questions, especially like this is that time I imagine a lot of people are kind of figuring out whether or not to commit to Fringe. And that's fine. Come ask us questions. The community is still there, whether or not you commit to doing a show or not. So don't be afraid to come to these, even if you might not participate. We want to have you. So come. The scholarships are open now and close January 14th, so that's just a couple of days away. The Fringe scholarships are available to first-time Hollywood Fringe producers who contribute to the ethnic, cultural, racial, intellectually, and physically disabled, capital D, deaf, and LGBTQIA+ diversity of the Fringe. Go to hollywoodfringe.org/scholarships for more information on how to apply. And this year, I want to note, Robin is here from 905 Cool. Our scholarships we're partnering with 905 Cool, so the scholarships will take place in that venue. As a part of the scholarship, you get free registration, performance times, and tech, and a whole lot else. So this is definitely something you want to look into. And what is the date that the application closes? Yes! Got that one right. Just want to throw that out there. Okay. Yes, fantastic. We also have a bunch of events. I'm not going to give out dates and times because we would be here all day. But I want to let you know what you have to look forward to, because we really set up the Fringe educational series to start you from A to get you all the way to the festival feeling confident, and you will have a successful run if you follow along. You can have zero experience in Los Angeles theater or in producing at all and still have a successful run at Fringe if you follow along on these workshops. It's really going to set you up for success. So those start up and they're in person and they're digital. We have a mix this year, but all events will be live streamed and recorded. So even if you can't make them all, no big deal. Hop over to YouTube, watch them later, and you won't miss a beat. We will have ASL interpretation at all of our in-person events, as we see here. Thank you all so much. And auto captioning on our digital events. If you do want a live interpreter at our digital events, just shoot us an email at support at Hollywood Fringe 72 hours before the event, and we will schedule that for you. So what do we have coming up? We have budgeting and fundraising. We have anti-racism in producing, accessibility in Fringe, marketing and ticketing, how to tech your Fringe show, and festival expectations. So all the way through the process, right? And you can find out all of those details at hollywoodfringe.org, right on that front page. Or new this year, go to hollywoodfringe.org/calendar, and that will be you'll be able to download all of these events directly into your personal calendar, so you don't miss any events coming up. That came thanks to a participant at last year's festival. We do these post-mortem town halls because we really want feedback. We want every year to do things to make the festival better so that our artists have better experiences. And that came directly from a participant last year. So no, those postmortems really matter. We take that information and use them. So please always do those after the festival as well. Along with our workshops being led by past participants, these would be people who have proven successful with one awards that really gone through the Fringe process and have great information this year. So all of those workshops will be led by panelists that have done Fringe. And then our town halls will be led by myself and Ellen and the Fringe staff. So that's the information directly from the Fringe staff about the model, about the experience, about the things we want to make sure you don't miss, the nitty-gritty details, right? So we're going to have one at the end of this month that'll be like your welcome to Fringe, everything you need to know to get started, and how to register and all of that. And then one closer to the actual festival, all about prepping for the festival experience. So those of you who are new, please make sure those are on your schedules. Those will be really vital to your experience. We also knew this year we really set ourselves up for programming this year. Brilliant. So we have web sessions. That's going to be all about the digital experience. So you've probably seen the Hollywood Fringe website. That's why you're here. And it's going to be a whole thing during the festival. That is going to be your home base for all things producing and festival information. So we really want to make sure you are set up to not only know where things are on the site, but being able to use all of the tools that are there for you to help you along your journey. So we're going to have one right after our first town hall that kind of leads you through registration and where to find information. Like if you're looking for events, we're going to give you some helpful tips on where to find things on the website so you're not wasting time looking for things. So those are new this year and we're really excited about it. We also have open space. If you're joining, I'm going to look toward the live stream. If you're joining internationally or nationally and you're interested in touring a show over to Hollywood Fringe, we have 3 sessions coming up that are going to be open sessions for you to ask questions. We know touring and making travel plans can get costly, so we want to make sure you have the opportunity to get all of the information you can while you make that decision. So January 30th is going to be our first one, and more information on that on our website and in newsletters coming up. All Fringe events are pay what you can, and the dates and details again can be found on our website and at hollywoodfringe.org/calendar. You download that and you'll be all set for the year. Start engaging with the community now. No, it's not a promise. Start engaging with the community now, y'all. Follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, the YouTube, all at Hollywood Fringe across all platforms. And then you're going to get updates there as well. So if you miss a newsletter, you're still going to see it on our Instagram. Things like that's how the kids are finding out information these days, right? That's how I find things out. Use hashtag HFF23 and tag us. We want to join you on your journey. We want to start to build that community digitally right now as we lead up to the festival. Also use our Facebook group. We have the Hollywood Fringe Facebook group that you can use. It's a great chance to ask other artists or other community members things, especially like if you're doing a solo show and you're like, I really would like a director, so I'm not totally in this alone. That's a great place to reach out and find other people who know Fringe who have maybe done something similar who want to help you out. So start to use that to build your network now, especially if you're looking for team members. And then always support at hollywoodfringe.org. That is your new best Fringe pal. Please, anything along your journey, let us help you out. Like there's a reason we have that. We want to hear from you. We want to make your lives easier and to help you have a successful Fringe. So please use that. COVID. So this year, we do not have any guidelines festival-wide. I just want to make sure everyone knows where we're at on that. No festival guidelines. There's no, all of the venues are operating just under LA County guidelines. So you are not required to do anything specific. That said, it is up to you. If you feel more comfortable having a mapped audience, that is entirely your call, and we support you in doing that. You will just have to manage that as a participant or as a primary producer of your project. With that, though, the website is built so you can have flags. We'll talk a lot about this in future, like town halls and workshops, so don't worry about the details. But you'll be able to click a button so that your audience knows your show requires masks. So we try to help share that information. All of that would be there for you. And with that, okay, I think it's time to hear from the fabulous venues who are here with me today. I want to say just across the board, we're not discussing rates again. That'll be something we talk personally about after stage. We're not going to be booking in this moment with these venues, so that'll come up later. Welcome.
Oh, I must interrupt.
So yeah, there's no prize talk today. Everything else is fair game. These individuals have literally been with us. Most of them have been with the festival for 12 years now. You're not going to find a group of more experienced strangers. So pick their brains, take in all their sharing because it's really valuable, I promise. So I'll start with Jen. We'll just kind of go back and forth. We'll play this by ear. Who are you? What is your venue or venues? Where are you located? What is your house size or house sizes if you run multiple spaces? And basically in 1 minute, give us a rundown of what's your venue.
Okay. Hi, I am Jen Crafts. I'm a white woman with curly hair and black shirt. That over there is Greg. And so we together run Stagecrafts venues. That is Studio Stage, which is here on Western, just a couple blocks south. Howard Fine Acting Studio, which is on Highland. And the brand new, hasn't opened yet, Magnani Theater, which is about to open, like, hopefully this week. But it's completely renovated. What were the other questions? Sorry.
What's your venue? Yes.
Venues, okay. And then house size, they're all about like 40 to 50. They are each very unique from each other. So Studio Stage, what makes it very unique is a curved white cyc wall. If you have multimedia, if you have projections, that's where you want to be. It's quite a big stage. We've had casts of, over 20 on that stage. We've got 2 big dressing rooms and a parking lot. Oh, parking lot.
Valuable thing in Hollywood.
I know. Howard Fine is a more intimate venue. It's got beautiful wood floors and wooden beams. Really, really good for like a solo show or a 2-hander. Doesn't have a really big backstage, so if you have a show where you're on stage, it really doesn't have a backstage. We're gonna say that. You can be creative about it, but if you got a show where you're on stage the whole time, you want a really homey, intimate feel. That's where you want to be. And then the Magnani brand, like I said, totally brand new, big, beautiful dressing rooms with those big, fancy Hollywood lighted mirrors. Very wide space. So if you have something that is, something that you need a lot of wide space, that's a really great place for you. It's about 30 feet wide, but it's not super duper deep. So just, they're all very, very different, and we've got something for everyone. There you go. Is that it? Yeah. All right.
Hey, everybody. My name is Zeke Rutman. I'm a white man and dressed in all black. I have a beard. It's maybe a seasonal beard. I'm with the Hudson Theater. We're on San Monica Boulevard, on the street from here. We have 3 spaces, 2 99-seat theaters, 43-seat theater. We have a cafe lobby. There's a restaurant in our building.
Yeah.
Right? Parking, we have valet parking for all the Fringe shows. We are an all-inclusive Fringe environment, so we don't talk about prices tonight, but basically, I think what you'll learn is some venues are, is this appropriate to say?
I remember what you were saying.
Later.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
You're saying for the last time.
Nice to meet you.
Peter Duffy. I run the Broadwater, which is also down the street on Santa Monica. We have he, him, and I'm also a white guy, wearing a blue shirt and tan cords. I'm really tired.
Welcome to Fringe.
Yeah, it's still early.
So the Broadwater, we have 4 theater spaces. We have a 96-seat proscenium space that's great for, we've done intimate things there, but it's great for the big musicals. If you need a lot of room on stage, We have a 70-seat second stage, which has a lot of seats, but it's a much more intimate stage. It's also sort of museum style. We have a black box that's 49. That's for Fringe is in a light 3/4, so it's very intimate. And then we have a little studio space that's 21 seats, and you can add an extra row. So that's a fun little space for little solo thing. Although I've seen musicals in there too. And we also have as we mentioned before, the event tomorrow night. We have a full-service bar in the building as well, called the Broadwater Plunge. So it's a great little place to come before and after your shows, and it's a good little community hub. That's it.
Excellent. Hi, my name is Matthew Quinn. He, him. I'm a middle-aged, middle-height white man with gray hair. I run Theater Asylum along with my wife and partner, Bertha Rodriguez. And we run three different venues with 6 different spaces. So we're kind of scattered throughout Hollywood. So McCadden Theater, which is on McCadden Place, kind of off Santa Monica, is a up to 60-seat theater. It's really good for musicals. It's a double-layered stage, very wide, very deep, nice dressing rooms, prop pieces there, and small lobby. The Stephanie Fury, which is located on Melrose and the Larchmont area, a beautiful area, great parking. It is on the 2nd floor. It's a 35 to 42-seat theater, with beautiful hardwood floor or wood floors, and a backstage with refrigerators, stove, beds, a fine selection of kind of set pieces. If you need an apartment scene, come on over. And we can double up. We'll talk deals. And then, very happy to be in this beautiful space, Thymealy, that you are in now. This has 3 wonderful multi-purpose spaces. Lights, as you see, everything is very flexible. We do a lot of immersive. We do theater around. So I'd like to say that really any show you should check in with Asylum. We're also always looking for other spaces. So we tend to find spaces, a space for your needs, and also happy to recommend these fine people with their beautiful spaces. I think that hit everything. Did I get it all? Yeah, exactly.
Hi, I'm Lauren, and I run the Actors Company. It's a 3-space venue, 1 block west of La Brea and a block and a half south rather of Sunlight Boulevard. And the main space, I'm supposed to promise. She, her, long blonde red hair, and I'm wearing purple hoodie. So anyway, the Let Live Theater is our 80-seat theater. It has 2 dressing rooms, can accommodate up to 20 people. Good sized stage, a very big stage. The Little Theater is up to 25-seat venue. It's great for 1-person, 2-person shows. And then we have the other space, which is what we call it, the other space. And that has anywhere from 55 to 70 seats, depending on how you configure it. All platforms, all chairs. It also has a concessionary area. Everything moves in that space, so it can be configured however your imagination wants to go. So it's a flexible space. We have a parking lot. We're very close to a lot of restaurants within walking distance, and landmark ones like the Lens Cafe. And
Hello, everybody. I'm CJ Flanagan, and I'm with the Assistance League Theater. I'm over on North St. Andrews, close to Western, right up here. And if you want to go big, it's a mid-size, but we're kind of on the larger side for Fringe. But we're a 330 seats mid-size proscenium theater. The stage is 24 feet wide, 34 feet deep, and 12 feet high if you have big set pieces and stuff. But yes, it's you get 330 seats. There's a nice patio for concessions out to start. Then you enter in the lobby, into a nice lobby where you also have another baby grand piano. There's a second baby grand piano right off the stage if you need an accompanist. And then yes, you have the large audience with 330 seats. You have the big stage with the stage right wing is only 9 feet, whereas the stage left wing is 16 feet wide. And then we proceed into the dressing rooms. We have 4 dressing rooms with 1-star dressing room. And that accommodates about 20 people comfortably. And then we also have a green room attached to those where you can add more space. It's like kind of a kitchen combo green room thing going on. So if you needed more actors, like I said, if you want to go big. So yes, if you have a big musical, it would be a nice space for your show. Oh, what do I look like? Yes. Yes, that's right. He, him. And I'm a white male with auburn hair. I'm wearing a red, white, and black flannel and blue jeans. Oh, I'm on North St. Andrews Place. It's 1367 North St. Andrews Place, right up here. So.
Okay. Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm from the Three Clubs bar theater venue. She, her, very tall white woman wearing black and gray ensemble. So let's see, we've been doing Fringe for almost a decade now. I would say that we're probably very different from most of the other venues. We are the only venue, I believe, still where you can drink and eat inside the theater, and we do really encourage that. A lot of drinking. It is a pretty crazy and chaotic place, and we really invite every single type of show to come 365 days out of the year, not just during Fringe. I'm the primary booker, and I do Fringe with Allie Miller. And probably anybody who's done Fringe knows Allie. We all love her. So, but she had a baby, so she's not going to be doing these things. Now I will, and she'll be more behind the scenes. So anyway, we have recently updated our theater. We used to be a 55-seat theater, and now it's a cabaret-style theater. We can seat, I would say, at least 100. We have over 100 chairs. We have about 40 tables. You can arrange the room however you wish. Our stage is 16 by 18 feet. We also have several platforms for other staging areas if you choose to have different multiple spaces for performance. We have full tech and lighting, full tech and sound. We have all of our own technicians on property. We operate everything via QLab. We also have 6 projectors, so every single wall has projection in the theater. We also have microphones all over the bar. We participate in live streaming, and we're on the Twitch app. Twitch app? That's what it's called. I'm not really good at that part. And we have something called Three Clubs TV, which is kind of all integrated into the live streaming, behind the scenes, interviews, things like that. So if anybody's into that, we are the place for you. We have been very fortunate and had some really amazing shows at the bar over the last 10 years or so. We are known for having like burlesque and large scale musicals and things like that, but we also have intimate shows like Michael Shaw Fisher had Shakespeare's Last Night Out, which is a very intimate show. So we can do all of that. You just have to make sure that your actors are very well aware that there will be a lot of activity going on in the room next door at all times. DJs, bands, parties, we are the party place. But we do have also a great green room with a private entrance. We have 2 private bathrooms for talent. We have several makeup tables in the green room. You also have your own loading dock in the parking lot. We are located at 1123 Vine Street, which is in the Strip Mall on Santa Monica and Vine, next to the mobile station. There's also a big boxing gym. That's pretty much how we are identified. by in the mall. Anyway, there's parking in the mall, and there's a ton of street parking as well. And I think that's it. I think I took up all of our time.
21 plus, so something to consider. With
Yes,
venues.
we are a bar. We are a bar, and so yes, 21 and over only.
Yes, that's a conversation you want to have if you were in, and even if you end up with a space that's not a registered venue currently, consider what is allowed in that space and who that's going to be for your audience. So keep in mind.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ron Bush. He, him, white male with brown short hair with a black jacket and blue jeans. I run the Hollywood Art House with my lovely partner, Drew Collins. We are a new venue, taking over an old space. It used to be the New Collective. So we got out of Hollywood Art House. We have a traditional 50-seat black box theater, full lighting, soundboard. Our stage is about 16 feet by 15 feet with direct access to a backstage area, so where you can store props for a small time, and actors can enter the stage with a curtain covering the back, so they can enter and exit the stage from the backstage area. We have a separate side room, very large, that can be used as a dressing room / hair and makeup. You have full access to that. A very lovely lobby area that we just finished painting brand new floor. So it's going to be newly designed. It's going to look beautiful in there. So we have a nice lobby area for people to hang out. We are located on Santa Monica Boulevard near the corner of Santa Monica and Wilcox. Our address is 6440 Santa Monica Boulevard. And we have a very lovely marquee out front of our building. So you put your collection name in big letters, lit up nice and bright at night. And I think that's the space.
Robin Schultz, 905 Cole Theater, she, her. I'm wearing a green sweater, blue jeans, and have medium length curly blonde hair. Our theater is located inside of Anthony Mandel's Actor Workshop. It's the main theater there that we use for the Fringe. It's a 48-seat theater. It's a traditional yet kind of industrial style black box theater. Our floors are actually cement, so a lot of dancing and musicals would not be really good at our theater, but just about anything else we can accommodate. For dressing room / green room, we use our studio theater, which is located right next door to the main theater. For that, we are also the home of Fringe Central. So our lobby and parking lot is taken with a fun, great place for everyone to hang out before and after your shows. And that's kind of the gist of who we are.
So if you're applying for the Fringe Scholarship that we talked about, that's going to be the venue you were in. So
Yes, and there's that.
Hi, I'm Amber Brugel. That was very close. Sorry. I am the venue manager of the Zephyr Theater and Lounge on Melrose. I am a she, her. I have blonde hair and space buns that have butterflies on them. I'm wearing a periwinkle jacket. And I run the Zephyr Theater. It has 74 seats configured in a 3/4 thrust. So there's audience on 3 sides. We have roughly 50 seats in the center section, so it does kind of lend itself to many different productions. We are 20 feet wide at the downstage portion and then up to 30 to 40 feet wide at the backstage. Nice blank stage for everyone. We do have a lot of in-house set pieces available for people to use, plus we have storage. We'll be bringing our other space, the Lounge on Melrose, into Fringe this year as well for some shows. It will work great for smaller productions. It has a 45-seat house, that should work there. And then I'm currently working on a pop-up venue this year to try and help everyone. All I can say is at around 50 seats. That's about all I can say.
Every time.
Every
By
time.
the end of today, we're gonna know everything.
Yeah. But the Zephyr Theater is great for larger productions and medium as well. We have a lovely outdoor courtyard with a concessions box office room. I think that's everything.
Yeah, my apologies. We are also renting out the Ren Theater at the Irish Import Shop. This is really for solo shows, and storytellers. It's in the back of an Irish Import Shop.
Is that one fine?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a really cute 40-seat theater. It's a proscenium, but the stage is small. So I'm really going to be particular. That is not a place to bring your four-person play. And we have, I know we're talking numbers, but we have a different box office there than a lot of other spaces. So that's good. So sorry.
Yeah, the goodness is there's something for everyone, right? If we've learned anything just with those openers, is you have so many options. The key for you over the next month or so is going to be to find the right fit. What is going to fit your show best? And talk to the venues and find what's going to take your show to the next level, really. Because you can have a very different experience in each one of these venues. All of them are going to be great. It just depends on what is going to work for your show. But the good news is you have people to support. Like, I've never met a more supportive group of people for the arts. Like, they have your back. They want you to succeed. So these venues are really going to make the Fringe experience really, really fun for you. I want to remind you that you can find all of this on our website. All of the details for most everything that was said is available on the website. You can search, you're going to look at spaces, not just venue. If you go to Broadwater, you're going to see the multiple spaces that you could rent within that space, and same with all of the venues that run different spaces. So all of that is there, all of the specs, and you can even reach out directly on the website. So HollywoodFringe.org/venues. It's also the third tab on the front page. So all of that is there. Don't worry if you're like, oh my God, I'm not going to remember the details. You don't have to. Okay, so next question. How do you manage booking your venue? Like I just said, you can certainly apply through the website, and some of you will. But how do you want people to reach out to you? How do you want this experience to go? And how do you choose which productions work for your space? We talked a little bit about it, but if you haven't already, add that in. And how do you manage the schedules? Because scheduling out shows is going to work different in every venue. And if you want to throw in just for time, what type of productions work best in your spaces? When you go through.
So I run the Zephyr again and Lash on Melrose. So we reach out to us, email through the Fringe site, call us, text me. If you can find my cell phone number, good luck. You can reach out in all those ways. As far as scheduling goes, for the Zephyr Theater, we are first come, first serve within reason. So I do book as we go, so we don't really have blocks. I will ask you what's the run time of your show, and then we will add load in and out time on either side of the show. So we are flexible with an hour minimum, but really we're flexible. Large shows, small shows, any type of shows work at our space. We are quite wide and probably about 20 feet, 18 feet deep, but we have a curtain track that runs the width of the stage. So if you are a smaller show or you want to pull the back wall down, you can. So it really is a great flexible space for Fringe. What were those other questions?
Yeah. I mean, yes, yeah.
Wow, good job.
Well, I mean,
You're pretty well booked with
yeah. If scholarship people have questions, you are most welcome to reach out to me. And if anybody else does, just reach out through the Fringe site, and I am more than happy to answer any emails and help you along your journey.
For the Hollywood Art House, you can reach out to us via email, phone number. Our website is currently under construction. We do have some photos up there of the space and some previous productions that have been in there. Our stage is not small, but I would say, maybe upwards of 5 actors would be comfortable on the stage. I've seen productions go in there about that size. So anything from one-man show to 4 or 5 actors on stage should be comfortable. As far as booking goes, we are an acting studio as well, so we're available only Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for productions. But our booking is pretty wide open, first come, first serve.
And we do have a projector.
Oh yes, we have a projector as well with a 200-inch screen.
The 3 clubs, Michelle. Let's see. We have 2 emails. Allie manages the Fringe manager at 3clubs.com. It's all spelled out, one word, no numbers. And then my email is Michelle, MICHELLE, at 3clubs.com. Again, just all one word, spelled out. We do everything. We do everything all year round, and I'd like to think that we pretty much are friendly with any kind of show anybody wants to present at the bar. What's really unique about our space is that you can make it your own. It's just this huge empty room with a bunch of tables and chairs and different pop-up stages. And you can really create whatever, imaginary in circumstance that you like. You can create your own imaginary environment. We have projection on every single wall if you want to do something that's really imaginative and visual. If you want to do immersive, we really welcome that here. But we also do have, we have everything from one-man shows to 30-person musicals. So it really, world is your oyster. It's a pretty large stage, 16 by 18 feet, I had said. And also we encourage people to use the lobby, go into the main bar and kind of tease the show in there and bring it everywhere. It's a party at the bar. And we like to have fun and we want everybody to be happy. And, we really like to kind of be that warm blanket that everybody can come to before shows, during shows, and after shows, just to have a really good time and to celebrate the community. We just really want to be one big family. So yeah, I encourage you to come check out the bar, come check out the space, come see a show as my guest, and yeah, let's do something fun.
Fantastic. Yeah. Hello again. It's CJ Flanagan with the Assistance League Theater. For inquiries about renting our space, you can reach me at cflanagan@assistanceleaguela.org. I know it's very long, but the
All
first
of these are
half.
on the website too, so nobody
Yes,
can.
they are on the website.
Yeah.
So yes, if you're interested, reach out to me first, and then when we actually handle the rental contract, that's with my boss Denise. What was the next part of that? Oh, our blocks. We do offer a 60 and 90 minute rental block, and then also a 5 show package along with those, whichever you prefer. 5 shows 60 minutes or 5 shows 90 minutes. But really, I know some people have come to me in the past with 2-hour shows, but we are first come, first serve, and so we are flexible with your size show and your duration of show. So just feel free to reach out and ask me, and we can make something. But yes, we are first come, first serve. We don't really have any set schedule. It's if there's a rental in the way, then we can't have off those dates. But yes, just reach out and we can try and make something happen. So, yeah.
Actors Company, Lauren. Best email would be info@theactorscompanyla.com. And we answer pretty quickly. Or you can just apply through the application process. Touring is by appointment. Our schedule, we make contracts starting now through till Fringe opens. But what we do as far as scheduling is concerned, when you give us a contract, you'll have told us all of your conflicts, and we will then work around. If we accept the contract, that means we're going to work and honor your conflicts. We schedule everything towards the end of March together as a whole, so that things fit and work out well together. what your show is, maybe there's another show that might fit well as a back-to-back show. So we schedule it so that you have a performance, or maybe you have a friend in another show, and they want their friends to come see the same block. So we try and do that, and that helps to create more of a community feel within the venue, and encourage everyone to get to know each other through events that we have prior, as well as throughout the course of the festival. And we try and make sure that everyone has a very fair and equitable schedule, with everyone having spaced out in the center, so that there's not any show that has been cherry-picked from the beginning with all the greatest excellence. So everybody's fairly in there. And also you'll find with Fringe that it's good to have shows that are throughout the festival, because people work, the waiters, and a late night show might be the best thing for them to come see, or they're in other shows, and so the matinee is the best thing, or your elderly parents can only see 8 o'clock on Saturdays. So it works well to have it scattered throughout. And what else are we supposed to talk about? Okay.
I want to add to that really quick, because Lauren's 100% right. So all of the rules for theater go out the window in Fringe, because it's a month-long theater celebration, which means a 2 o'clock on a Saturday isn't a weird time anymore, or a midnight show on a Thursday isn't a weird time. There's really, because people are just seeing back-to-back shows, and where almost like the 8 p.m. on a Friday becomes oversaturated. So you don't want to have all of your shows at what would be considered a prime time, because then you have 30, 40, 50 shows to choose from as an audience member, as opposed to the 9 a.m. on a Sunday. I've seen those shows sell out. So you just know the rules go out the window with Fringe. There's no such thing as a horrible time to have a show.
Get strategic with it.
Yeah.
I love an 11 a.m. on a weekend.
Start the day off.
Brunch show.
Serve mimosa.
Yeah. Most of the time.
It's a
Every
good
Sunday.
It's a good idea to market your shows individually when you have, your brunch show that you target, like, let's have brunch and then see a show, or
No, Matthew Flynn Asylum. I'm echoing all of this ideas, and also you can hear the venues know. So we've been doing this for a while, so it's good to check in.
That's why they're also tired.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
So tired from us.
I love this time of Fringe. I love meeting all the new faces and seeing old faces. So we're very open for accessibility. Email, call us. All the information is up at the HollywoodFringe.org site. We do have a pamphlet packet with all of our information, pictures of all the venues. We also talk about our promotion package, which is included for asylum renters, but also if you're not an asylum, you can do the promotion package. We do push doing tours, although we were talking earlier, virtual tours are kind of cool too. But I do like to talk to you at least, obviously, and get a sense of the show, talk about which space makes sense. Like I said, we really have a variety of asylum. So we can find something and work with it. And our just again echoing, we do push, we work a schedule with your needs. We try to spread out, not only odd times, but you need time in between each show to build your audience. So we're also throwing around out Thursday, Friday, Saturday shows. We want to spread it out. So we'll work with you, and every show is different kind of scenes. I think that's it. So yeah, just check out the packet, and then sign up a call, and we'll do a tour. We're planning tours Sundays and Thursdays for the group tour for all the venues. But make an appointment, and we'll work it out.
And Fringe will share, we will be collecting information on when venues are touring, or even if they have virtuals. So we'll help you collect that information so that you're not having to reach out to 17 venues if you're interested in all of them. We'll start to condense information for you on their behalf.
The Broadwater, Pedrick. A lot of what we do is sort of the best practices that you will hear a lot. Rentals at thebroadwaterla.com is our main email. Also, thebroadwaterla.com is our website. Be kind, I do the whole thing. And we're tours by appointment, so you just reach out and we'll find a time where the spaces are available. Same sort of spread of show length, size, packages, those, so we'll spread them out over the course of the festival, over the course of afternoons and evenings and late nights and that type of thing to create a nice spread for you. And all of our spaces are, all 4 of our spaces are very different. So really, I encourage you to come check them out because one of them is probably going to connect with your show. So that's a nice thing that we also just have a ton of shows. So it's, all of Fringe is a wonderful big community. And then there's also pockets of venues that have multiple spaces. And so with our space and our bar, we're a fun little pocket to sort of get to know the other shows and foster that community as well. And that's it. Yeah.
Zeke with Hudson Theater. So contact through Fringe website. Great. What's that link again?
HollywoodFringe.org/venues.
Or you can go to our website and call my cell text. It's all good. So appointments, we like to do everything by appointment. If you're local, we'd love for you to come in and have a look and talk and find out about your show. You get up on stage and then all these new questions come flooding into your mind and then you ask a million new questions and then you just sit there for like an hour and figure it out. Or maybe you're not local and we do this over the phone and we can do virtual and that's all great too. For scheduling, I feel like we do it a little differently. We don't really do packages. We don't schedule your shows. We tell you what's available. We go over what's available. You do get first pick. You can cherry pick all the good spots if you want to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's we have 3 performance minimum. And, it's really just a collaborative process of learning about your show, figuring out what you want, when you want it. I mean, that is right. Spread it out if you can over the course of the festival, like market one show at a time. But maybe you're coming in from out of town and you don't want to pay rent for, or maybe you're not going to put yourself up in an Airbnb for a whole month. In which case, maybe a weekend or a 4 or 5 day period. So, we figured that all out together. Appointments. We give you lots of time. We like to learn about what you're trying to do.
Interject really quick just to make sure that the information is out there. Fringe does not require you to perform any certain number of performances. So just know that that's going to be between you and your venue. You touched on a good point with the 3 requirement. So with Fringe, as long as because the whole point is if you do 1 performance, then you're eligible for awards and you get to go through the whole process that is Fringe. Right? We recommend between the 3 and 5 or more. Just know your audience. That's the key. The recommendation that Fringe will give you is know your audience. If you have an audience here that you can fill these seats, then 20 performances. But just know that that's going to be your job to market. So think about all these things as you're booking a venue.
Jen from Stagecrafts. Stagecrafts is very cute. Sometimes people realize it halfway through Fringe. What's your last name?
Yes.
You're welcome.
So, that's why I married him. So we have 3 venues, just in terms of what shows fit where. The best thing to do is just tell me about your show. I will direct you to what is going to be best. It's great to apply to the Fringe site because it gives me a lot of insight. Please fill out all of that information. We've had someone say it is a deal breaker if I can't cut a hole in your stage. I was like, oh, all right. But it's very good for us to know your tech requirements within reason, because then I'm able to direct you to, if you do have something that has a lot of multimedia and a big cast, you want to be at a studio stage. If you have a really intimate, one-hander, then you want to be at Howard Fine or the Madnani. So, just tell me about your show. We'll figure it out. I always want everyone to be in their right spot, right? For scheduling, we do scheduling. Sounds like we do scheduling different than everyone. So what we do is the thing is with me and Greg, we are also producers. We've produced every year since the beginning of Fringe. And so then when we became venue managers, we were like, what did we want as a producer? So one of the things that we always wanted was we wanted to know our entire schedule as soon as possible. So we've already done all the schedules. There's definitely leeway there if you need to like move stuff around or whatnot. But I have an extremely amazing little production manager who used to be a kindergarten teacher. And she makes me this little color-coded schedule that I sit on the entire like year and work with you. But what that means though is that when you book with us, you'll get a choice between a wide variety of schedules. We try to make them so that they are all fair to everyone. Everyone gets a prime time, everyone gets a late night, everyone gets a matinee, everyone gets a weekday. So everyone gets it all spread out very well during the Fringe. And as producers, we found that that is actually the best for marketing, as you touched on. And then we also include in all of our packages a tech, but then also a dress rehearsal. So all of our packages, all of our tech starts kind of a week earlier. But that's because as a producer, I saw so many previews where the producer had to get up and go, hey guys, this is our first time running with tech. Oh, wow. And no one wants to do that. That's a terrible situation. So we kind of eliminated that issue at our venues. Not that there's any issues really anymore. I feel like everyone has a much better hold on it than we did like in 2010. Now everyone's like, okay, we're cool. But we want to give everyone as much rehearsal time as possible built into your schedule. So anything that's 3 or more shows, your tech and your dress rehearsal is included. And you get those dates and your performance dates when you book with us. So yeah, it is basically first come, first serve, but like I said, everyone's schedule is fair and equal. And I do have the schedules. Well, I have all the schedules up for Studio Stage right now. I'm waiting on some other people to give me some information at the other venues. I'll have them very shortly. Yeah, the best way to get a hold of us is through the Fringe site or just rentals at the Stage Crafts, like artsandcrafts.com. Yeah.
Did you forget your venue?
I know. I'm trying to wonder if this has kind of come up. If
Yeah.
we should talk about the package system of renting spaces versus.
Oh, that's what we were talking
Already done.
yeah.
So
Was that
sorry.
what that wasn't that? But
You want to add?
well, I guess so. Then I guess I did kind of miss that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no.
Well, no, just the sense of the packet system where there is 3, 5, 7 packets spread out throughout. I do want to mention that has already been discussed. The Wren Theater is doing a box office split. So there is a small fee to pay up front, and then you get that fee back, and then we split the rest 50-50. So that is the system for that. In terms of the package, that's what's included. Insurance is separate. The tech person is separate. And the package involves the dates. And we get twice the rehearsal. So that was
No, I misunderstood.
Oh, okay, great. I thought
That's
that
okay.
was not
We're not there yet.
That's what
We'll get to it when I promise.
That's what I was worried. But that's what I was worried about package.
Yeah. So it's like, the scheduling and how it's packaged
We
together.
schedule in
But we'll-
packages.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all right.
Groups.
I'm gonna try a quick hand raise just because a lot of these questions we're not gonna have. All right, I want to make sure we have time for all of the important questions. So for load in, load out, we talked a little bit about that, right? That is going to be super important at Fringe. Like I cannot stress this enough. Especially this year, we're going to be going back to our like more normal size. There are hundreds of shows. So remember, like this isn't a standalone. Where during any normal time of year in LA, you have a rental and actors company, and you're the show that's in there that night. That's not how Fringe works. You're after 8 shows, before 5, like if you're in a schedule that is really reliant on everyone respecting each other's time. So factoring that in when you're having these early conversations with your venues to make sure that if your show's an hour, you're not booking an hour and 15, crossing your fingers and knocking on wood that you can get your ass out of there in 5 minutes on each end, right? So really think about how much set you have. Overall, it's minimalist is how a lot of Fringe productions run. Because a lot of these shows are now ready to go on tour, to go, travel the country. So they have a 1 suitcase prop, that's it. So think about these things as you're having these conversations. By all means, you can take over a venue and, you know, bring in a full set of the, you know, as long as they're okay with it and you have the time allotted and pay for that, you can. I'm just letting you know you can really simplify for Fringe. So how many venues, just on a show of hands, are flexible in allowing for that, or rather, let's go this way. Are there any venues that have a tight, like, nope, you get, this is the hour, you get 15 minutes on either end? We used to have more of those, but I don't think anymore.
I mean, we have, yes, but you could get more time.
So there's not such a tight, nobody has such a tight schedule where
we're on 15.
We have 15, but like, let's say your show's 65 minutes. If you can get out in 10 minutes, you're fine.
Okay.
But the 90-minute slot is holding. We can't go over that unless you buy it.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Yeah. So same. Yeah. So consider this, right? Like just because you see I'm in this space, we booked this space at 6 o'clock. That doesn't mean we come in at 5 o'clock to set up, right? So just consider that when you're booking your venue. Otherwise, you're gonna have to make adjustments right before your show is up that you don't want to have to make.
And also don't chase out the show in front of you, and don't, you know, dilly dally on the way out so that the next show can get it. Just let people load out and load in as they need.
And I will say that sounds like a scary, like, ooh, don't do this. But the 15 load in, load out actually really ups the energy of Fringe. We were doing 30 minutes for the past 2 years because we were dealing with like figuring out live streaming and whatever. And it really, I felt like the energy dropped between shows. You want it to be a little frantic. It's great.
It also allows for people who've seen one show to say, hey, what's the next show? I'll stay.
Yes.
Yep.
It's going to be happening in 30 minutes.
It's awesome.
I'll stay.
Nothing like the lines in front of your theater to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's truly a community effort in that way. But also with that, like making sure you're on time, because if the person who's going to see your show is delayed by the show before yours, now you've lost a reviewer, possibly press, possibly someone who's going to offer you an award at the end of the season. So like you have to consider like how important you being on time is and how it affects the rest of the festival too.
It also reminds you how much you can get done in 15 minutes.
Practice,
Because I have seen huge musicals
Absolutely.
come in and out where all 30 people know what they're lifting and what they're moving. It's kind of fun.
You guys, we did a very Die Hard Christmas, which made the stage covered in blood and confetti. And we cleaned it up in 15 minutes.
See, anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
And we'll talk a lot more about this. Like we have a teching Fringe show workshop. We'll continue to talk about this. I just want this on your mind when you're booking time and how to consider that. Okay.
I will.
We're going to talk immersive a little bit. So, I mean, we have a lot of traditional spaces. We also have some that are less traditional. But even for traditional, do any of you have non-traditional spaces that you can offer immersive or more site-specific artists? Maybe it's a parking lot. Maybe it's something more obvious. But so is there anything outside of the box that you have that you can open up to site-specific artists?
We have a pretty cool parking lot with a nice red gate in an alley.
That's key, right? There's closed off from.
Yes, it would be closed and locked, private, safe, whatnot. But we do have that at CD Stage.
Asylum, and this is applicable, I think, to any venue. You should check in with the venue and do. I've had shows, maybe not even a show, but do some promo in front of the space. There's been rentals of vans and stuff. Check with the venue, like a parking lot, that maybe you can leave your van there and do your show out of that.
It's happened.
So absolutely, this is all from experience. And then obviously places like Dunedin, we get Lava Mercy here, we're just a space. But yeah, it's a great city for that. There's opportunities in venues, empty spaces for that.
Yeah, it's not just parks or the street corner, like out to these venues, because this might allow for more security for your own artists and for your plan, because you just never know with Hollywood too. We've had shows that have taken place on Hollywood Boulevard that had to, that had to be taken into consideration every night because the rules were like you never knew what you were playing with that night. So you have these opportunities at venues, so you're gonna be in a more established space if that's what you're after. Are there any others?
Yeah, I would like to just say, like my theater, the Assistance League Theater, it's a very large property. But yeah, I think I can echo for everybody that, yes, if you have a vision that you would like to chase, just bring it up to any venue and see and work with them. Because yeah, I have a beautiful little patio. I mean, we have a big auditorium and then we have the stage, or there's a parking lot or dressing rooms. If you want to do more of an immersive thing, if you wanted to have people walk through the space, I'm sure every venue would be open to trying to capture your vision. So, just work with everybody.
If anyone's interested in an outdoor space, the new one we're bringing this year, Long John Melrose, has options. So just let me know.
Now we know the location and the amount of seats.
There's two separate ones. There's Lounge on Melrose, which I currently have. Then there's a third option for a pop-up venue that I'm working on. That one's a little better. I can't digress.
It's fine. We'll have the address by the time.
Just keep asking her questions.
Oh my god, I love it. Okay, at the 3 clubs, I'll just add really quickly. Obviously, I've mentioned that we have a lot of projection. We do a lot of immersive. We do a lot of audience participation shows. And we also do have, 3,500 square feet of back of house space. There's a large loading dock, I guess. It's kind of a reverse foyer from the theater, which people have been doing aerial work and high ceilings, just like the people have been doing that kind of as a alternative entrance into a show, which could be a space for a very intimate show as well as yeah, it's a pretty cool space. It's really fun, and it's all black. Everything is black. The ceiling, the walls, and the floor. And it's a big garage door open entrance. So that is something that we're toying with for some really cool, like live draw, like live art draw, things like that.
So know with Fringe, like there's really no rule. Like it's what is going to bring your vision to life. And so like we've had shows in vans, in parking lots, in tents, and as long as you're safe and you have permitting and insurance to be there, it's anyone's game. We had one show that drove all the way to I think Eagle Rock and back, like as a part of like as long as it starts and ends in the zone, then the rules, And so so lots of fun you can have with Fringe. Let's talk live stream a little bit. This is probably not per se specific work, let's be honest. So live stream is something that we do offer you as an option. You do not have to live stream your show. You can live stream some of your shows, none, all, totally up to you and your venue, depending on what's going to work. This is something to consider. Like I said, you don't have to, but it's something to consider for accessibility or even just house size as far as like the amount of seats you can sell because live stream doesn't have a house capacity or location. If you're not from here and have a bunch of family in Washington State, what a great opportunity to sell some tickets. So just and also play with that too. If you know that you can sell tickets outside of Los Angeles, what a great opportunity. If you don't know anyone outside of Los Angeles, maybe it's not worth it for you. So it's totally up to you. And let you choose as long as it's live and simultaneous. We don't do on-demand or pre-recorded things because it just becomes messy for the audience to know what to expect. So for venues, we are going to offer different things. Every venue has something very, very different. Some will offer in-house where they handle everything for you, and that's a part of the package. And then other venues will let you bring someone in third party if you want to. Other venues just don't have the setup where that's going to be successful. They don't want you to have an unsuccessful experience. So it's just going to be a hard no. Who has in-house? Can you raise your hand? Who has in-house live stream? The participant would walk in and not have to touch a technical thing. So just to let you to digest that information and watch it at home. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Stagecraft does.
and the Broadwater, 2 of our 4 venues are black box in our second stage.
Would that be then recorded?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we can either, so we have a 3-camera setup and we'll have a technician. It's a package you can do, and then you can either have it go live stream or you can just take the feed from those cameras for a rough cut for your own use, in the future. And if you live stream, we'll give you a copy of that anyway. So
Pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah. And then we also have a total room. Yeah, but actually the 3 that do it in-house, do you want to quickly go through like what that looks like, and is it included in your price points?
For us, we've got a 3-camera setup at studio stage right now. We're still figuring out what we're doing at Hard Find and the Matnani, kind of based on their Wi-Fi. So we're working on it, which is key.
Yeah.
So if you really, really want live stream, make sure you're at studio stage. But yeah, 3-camera setup, live camera angle movements and changes and whatnot. If you don't have your own platform to stream it to, that's fine. We have a YouTube channel where we stream it to, and we can handle that for you. And there'll be a technician there doing it. It is an optional add-on, so you don't have to have it in your package. You're not ever going to pay for something that you're not going to use. So just talk to us about that. And yeah, really think about your particular show and if that will sell. We had a huge success story from someone at Howard Fine last year. She was a one-person show. She happened to have family in China, and her dad, without her knowing it, put an ad in a Chinese newspaper.
Dad!
And she was like, why do I have 145 tickets sold?
Wow.
That was why. And it was consistent. Like, she made bank because she was streaming to China, and they were watching it like, you know, whatever random time in the middle of the night. They didn't care because Dad put an ad in the paper in China. So
call Dad tonight.
Call Dad. Have one Dad. But like, it's something to consider. Like, if you do have a ton of people that you know from out of town who are gonna watch, it's worth
my
it.
Jamaican mother in London would really appreciate
There
it.
you go.
There
Right?
I'm just impressed we got through the Great Firewall of China.
I know. I was
Yeah.
so crazy.
Fringe has so much power.
It's exactly the same for us. It's, you know, no one has to live stream. It's just an added package that we can offer. A lot of people in the past, this is our third year doing it, a lot of people will just do one show. It's, you know, it's relatively inexpensive, and they can just do it. We do it all in-house. So we'll have a technician that just does it in that space, and so knows what they're doing. We have a YouTube channel as well that we can, you know, use the platform. There's something else.
Is it an add-on?
It is, yeah. So it is an add-on. Yeah. Oh, and then also we do have Ethernet cable into the spaces, so it's not our Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we do have the same capabilities, but we're not. It's not nearly. I can't speak on it. I just know that we do it, so I'd have to research it a little bit more. But it would definitely be an add-on. It would not be part of the package.
So I think the key is still going in, like if live stream is important to you, this is a conversation you want to have early on with your venue because of Wi-Fi, Ethernet, all of these things are super key. If the Wi-Fi is unstable, I mean, we've done workshops at certain places where the live stream was not great because of Wi-Fi. And so, and if that's fine for you, then no big deal, right? And also if you want to bring in a third party, Hudson doesn't do it, but you want a third party, check in with Hudson and make sure you can bring in someone to live stream. I know most people, the only reason they wouldn't probably be okay with it if they do it already themselves, or if they just know the internet is not going to be stable enough, whatever the reason is. So have these conversations. You can also record too. The participant packet will come out February 1st. As you start to register, you'll get a packet from us, and included will be like discounted like photographers and videographers and people that you can, if you're like, I don't want to live stream, I don't want to think about it live day of, still get a recording. You can submit to other festivals. There's a lot you can do with proof of work. So sort of think about this as an opportunity to capture your work and to use it to take the next level, to the next step, whatever that is. Okay, what's next for live stream? Let's talk. I'm going to combine a couple questions. So services, and this is where we started to talk about like what services do you offer in your venue. Every venue is going to work differently. Some venues will run a box office. Some venues will have a stage manager included. So if you could talk through at each venue what is offered, what is included, and what participants will need to take care of on their end. And with that, like let's talk about rehearsal and tech time. Can we combine those two, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Real fast.
Yeah.
Okay. Jennifer Stagecrafts. So put it out there. So like I said, in our packages, you get 3 times the length of your show for tech, plus 2 times the length of your show for dress rehearsal, which is after your show is teched. Do not plan on running your show during tech. Ain't gonna happen. That's when you're setting your lights and your sound and whatnot. So that is included. And then if you have anything, if you want to use the space outside of that time, then that's additional. And then we do require you to hire our venue stage managers. The reasoning behind that, and you guys will probably all attest to this, is that way back in the day, back in like 2013, it used to not be like this. It used to just be like, bring your buddy and have him push some buttons. And that caused 8 million problems.
8 million, exactly.
Yeah, for other shows, right? So like your buddy might be up there and be like, oops, I totally erased a show. We personally had, before we were venue managers, we had a show with 139 mic cues that were erased 3 times during the Fringe.
Oh, wow.
Greg had to go up there and reprogram in the middle of the night at like 2 a.m. We don't ever want to happen. None of us want that to happen. So generally, you do have to hire a venue stage manager. We generally all have like set rates for that and whatever. So that's something that it's a separate contract between you and the stage manager. In our venues, we also have we do have someone to run your box office, but you do pay that person separately. Again, I always like to know the reason why behind stuff, right? So again, it's really, really good at Fringe because there's so many things going on, people going in and out and seeing different shows. They get confused. They don't know where they are or where a show is going on, and you don't want at a very key moment of your show the door to open and someone to go, "Is this Steve's show?" Because it's happened. We do not know who Steve is.
We never went to after that.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. So you want someone who is going to be out in the lobby the whole time, not just a buddy who's going to see the show for free and leave the lobby open. You want someone who like knows safety procedures and can manage your load in, load out of your house, things like that. So it is someone who's trained on all of those things in that particular venue and someone who can handle those things. We also have a rider where you can purchase on our insurance if you don't have insurance. So, and I think everyone does something similar.
We do a hand raise. So with insurance, you will, in your personal agreement, you must have insurance. It's all very simple, but how many venues kind of handle that on the rider?
But if you have your own insurance and you want to do it, no problem. You can. So like that is technically optional as long as you have it. So yeah, that's our and design services.
Yeah. We do lighting design services. QLab will design your plot for sound and projections. You just have to provide the files that you want to use. We'll go over file formatting and everything in a separate workshop. And yeah, that's very limited storage. That's also something that's offered.
That's excellent.
That's included. So yeah. Oh, and design services are paid for separately, but typically you're hiring me to do your lights and possibly your QLab if needed. So yeah.
I know these are checkboxes on the website, so you can even, if it comes to it, you can search, oh man, I really wanted the venues that have their own box office. That's a searchable flag on the website. So all of these things are on the website too. What are your services?
Zeke with the Hudson Theater. We're kind of all inclusive, so everything is kind of included. Everything is included. Box office person, stage manager, take your tech time, the stage manager for the tech time and for performances, house manager, we schedule ballet service for you, our cafe will be staffed. It's like a cruise. It's all inclusive. But don't stop.
Do you have a red carpet? Do you have a red carpet?
Yes, we have a red carpet. We do have a red carpet, yeah. We do. Okay. Velvet ropes and red carpet and the whole thing. It's all inclusive. You'll be up on a big, beautiful TV.
Massages.
Tech rehearsal and dress rehearsal.
Yeah, we include a couple of hours of tech rehearsal and then so would we get yeah. So nothing extra except if you want to book a bunch of extra tech rehearsal above and beyond what's included, then yeah, you have to pay for that. You have to pay for the person's time. But outside of that.
A lot of similar things. So we just the size of our space and all the shows happening. You run your own front of house. You know who Aunt Judy is. You know who you want to come. We're going to get out of the way. Yeah. We always have people staff on site during the show. So while we're doing Fringe, so there'll be multiple staff members who are making the trains run, and there's always a technical person on site to put out that fire. We have the same sort of 2 times your runtime for tech, 2 times your runtime for rehearsal. We have resident stage managers in each space. There are employees for Fringe, so we will transparently bill you for their use, but you don't have to have a contract with them. We'll just, for the time you use them, the same general liability insurance riders, live stream, and then of course we expand the bar hours, so we're open while Fringe is happening. And trying to think what else. Is there any other questions?
I just have to wait and have a conversation with Carly. I was not paying attention to
Yeah. Listening to
Matthew Point Asylum. So the same type of thing, double the time for tech time. Tech person is extra, is in-house. Again, all the reasons they're just well trained, they know everything. Box office, we give you a choice. You can have your own. We have somebody available. You can pay them. We also find that through Fringe you meet people, and it's a great way to have somebody box office here showing you box office things. To that end, one of the things that Asylum does do differently, both Bert and I are producers. We also have been producers since the beginning of Fringe and running venues at the beginning. And one of the things we realize that people want and need is promotion. So we have a separate promotion package that's included with our Asylum package. It involves weekly meetings online and in person. We come up with promotion ideas. And we also utilize what they do in Edinburgh and San Diego, which is lanyards. So everyone in your team will get a lanyard, and that allows everyone to see everybody else's show who's part of Asylum for free. And it's just a wonderful way to really build audience to come see each other.
If the seats are available.
If the seats, yes, thank you, magic words. If the seats are available. So that, again, is all included. But if you pick any of these wonderful venues, you can still do that at Asylum promotion. I think that's all of the tech time. And we do, Family, I've got to toss out there for everyone. Every space in here can fit near basically any space that's up here. So if you need rehearsal space, this is the place to go. So you can contact me for that as well.
Actors Company, Lauren. We have a packet that you can request by emailing me. And with 3-show, 5-show, 7-show packages, different lengths of time. Included in the package would be the stage time. There's also 2 hours of tech included. Then separately would be using our stage managers, same reasons that everybody else. We've all had our disasters when they work on our stage. It makes it go much quicker because they know what's up there, and if you can say, hey, I want it to look like a sunset, boom, 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 like that, a little more red, boom, boom, it's done, as opposed to somebody learning and going, where do you see this? Yeah, exactly. So it winds up saving a lot of time. And let's see what else. Insurance is available.
Box office.
We handle the box office, it's included. We don't charge you anything for the box office. We have one central box office. We find that we also have a huge wall behind our box office, and we put everyone's posters up, so people are constantly asking us about the other shows, and we do our best to know as much as we can about the shows and promote. So a lot of times people will just come because we're running the box office, and we chat them up and say, hey, you like that show? How about this one? So that's just a point of purchase kind of thing. When people are hanging around and saying, what's the next show? Because we're there all day long, we could go with this one, and that one. And this is what they're about. So it winds up selling extra tickets for you that way too. And I think that's all, right? Okay.
Yes, CJ Flanagan with Assistance League Theater. Yes, we have kind of the same thing, double your show for tech and dress. So yeah, it's basically whatever show you pick, we'll do double it for your tech so you guys can do that. And then yes, box office, we're fairly bare bones. You're gonna be having to do more of the heavy lifting when it comes to box office and operators. We don't have anyone as staff for the box office, so you get to keep 100% of your sales and all that kind of stuff. So, but you have to man that position on with your team. And then same thing with our board operators for lighting and audio. You have to hire your own technicians to come in and run those as well. Unless it is the most bare bones, lights on, lights off kind of thing. Set the mics, let it go. I can handle that, no big deal. So, so yes, if you're trying to do something more extravagant with all these cues and stuff, where someone's got to be there, you're going to be looking at hiring someone else to help you out. So, yes.
Michelle from the Three Clubs. In the past, we've done really traditional packages, just like some of the other venues here. We haven't fully decided how we want to do it this year yet. Some of the things that I do know is that you must use our techs. We have a whole group of in-house techs, and you must use them. It's not an option. But you do run your door. We will have a lot of management and a lot of staff on site to run the venue, but you will run your own door and you will sell your own tickets. But everything else, we haven't quite decided yet what the packages will look like. They'll be similar to everybody else's with regard to having some personal time, which we highly encourage within your package.
Ron Bush, the Hollywood Art House. Similar to most everyone else here, like we're also going to have packages. We haven't finalized those yet, but it'll be different like numbers of shows, 3, 5, 7, various time slots. You'll have our lovely marquee. Put your name up on the marquee for your show. We have large windows out front where everyone, if you have a poster, will be putting anyone's productions posters in the windows during Fringe Festival. I would recommend bringing your own tech person. Like others, we can handle basic, on, off, up, down. That's it. But otherwise, I would say bring your own tech person. We have. I know how to run the lights. I've been working there for several weeks.
I'm available freelance for any venue that needs that.
Like she said, if you need a sunset, then you'll need a tech person. You need someone to turn the lights on and off because our lights aren't fixed. So it'll light up different parts of the stage. So if you need lights to turn on at a certain point, you can hire me to do it, or get your own tech person. Again, I recommend you get your own tech person, just for your own sake. As far as the box office, we don't have a traditional box office. We do have a front desk that you will need to have someone there at all times. So if you're going to have someone bring a friend in to run the box office, they won't be able to watch the show because someone will have to man that front desk at all times. If you need someone to run the front desk, you can ask us about that. We can get someone to work that desk for you. We can hire them for, and that'll be an additional cost.
And we can also find you, we can also find tech people as well. We have a list of tech people through Andy.
Yeah, so if you need help finding people to run your production, like the tech or the front desk, we can help you with that. Someone will be on location if there's like a major problem. I will probably wind up being there for all of the productions just to make sure that the lights are off and the doors are locked on the way out. And yeah, I think that's everything.
Robin 905 Cole, we for the scholarship shows, I believe it's been a bit since we talked about all of this, but I believe it's 3 shows plus tech is included. If you are needing extra rehearsal time, and this kind of goes for anybody, not only do I have a main theater and a studio theater at our space, we also have 5 other classrooms. So for any Fringe shows, no matter what venue you're at for the show, if you need extra rehearsal time and they're full, reach out to me and I will give you reduced rates that I give to our Fringe shows, the same reduced rates for it. It doesn't mean you're going to be in our theater. You might be in a smaller classroom, but if you need space, like we will help people as much as we can for that at really like low pricing. And then we do have a tech person, and you will be using our tech and light designer. If you want extra dress rehearsal outside of your allotted tech time, then you will be paying that person their fee for that time as well, for any extra that they're needed. For box office, we have nothing to do with your box office. You are completely running that all on your own. However, like I will be at the building much of the time, and Fringe will be at the building, so we are there to help the scholarship shows because we just want to make sure it's as good, easy, cohesive, and you guys have a great time. Did I forget stuff?
When all of that information is out, it's going to be very particular to scholarships too. So.
Yeah, I get to talk. It's been a minute, okay? Well, we're at the end. Amber at the Zephyr Theater, Lounge on Melrose, and the unnamed, undescribed pop-up venue. Because I've only said it has 50 seats. That's all I said.
Where is it located?
I haven't said.
It's somewhere within the Fringe.
Somewhere within the Fringe zone. There you go.
We're getting more information and we're breaking her down.
So at the Zephyr Theater, we provide your tech person. You do have to pay them X amount per hour. It is a set rate. We do require you to use our tech person for the same reasons everyone else has said. We provide a box office person as well. They are a very minimal fee per show, and that is just to take that stress off of your shoulders so that you don't have to, as you're producing this baby starring in this, have to then worry about who's going to check everyone in. They'll handle that. And then insurance rider, we have it if you need it. Also, I run 11 venues. Not all of them are within the Fringe zone. I will be doing a Fringe rehearsal rate at all of those venues. So if you need rehearsal time or anything like that, just let me know. Any Fringe participant is going to get that Fringe rehearsal rate, no matter whether you book with us or not. And then other services. That's all.
No one really mentioned this, and I want to make sure everyone knows who has concessions, because a lot of venues are going to have concessions. Yeah.
Should we do a hammer?
Yeah.
Concessions?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Are you going to do the popcorn?
We have free popcorn.
Hey,
there you go.
Studio stage.
Okay, one more time. Yeah, let's say the name.
Stagecraft popcorn at Studio Station.
That's the theater has.
We just have drinking.
Actors company.
Assistance League Theater, you gotta bring your own concessions.
The three clubs, we have a full bar and a taco truck.
Best taco truck in LA? Yeah.
Best taco truck.
Yes.
I eat at it a lot during Fringe. Apologies now. It's so good.
Zephyr Theater, we have concessions.
Thanks, y'all. Okay, we're gonna go a little bit over. It's one of everyone. We started a little late, so we're gonna go a couple minutes over. So we're gonna do last question. Try to keep it as short as sweet as we can, so we can get some audience Q&A. But let's talk closing. I know it's kind of a brain breaker to even talk about closing Fringe, but how do books work? So no, with the Hollywood Fringe, like I said, we give all of the sales back to the artist. That's through the website, right? So these venues have mentioned that they handle the box office. So we're just going to kind of go down the line and how the closeout works, if it works differently. So if you also, I know, like Matt, you have a different thing with one of your theaters where the closeout is very different. This is going to bring it up. So how does the closeout work? And then are there any additional things about strike or that come down that people need to know about your venue? And Amber, we'll start with you.
Thank you. Zephyr Theater, we take none of your ticket sales. We just run the box office for you. So all ticket sales go to you, and then as far as closing out strike, we require everything be removed the Monday following closing of Fringe, unless you are participating in Encore Awards, which we have not talked about. So sorry for confusing you.
But we will, yeah, like
We will.
all of this, and also actually I want to mention the rehearsal stuff. Like there's a lot of rehearsal information. All of that will be in the participant packet as well. So we will have all of the information, like the discounts at the venues that are offering rehearsal space. That will be in there too, as well as the Encore information. That is a partner organization. Like we partner with. I guess yeah.
Yes, we don't do your box office. That's all you and all your money that you get to take in however you want to. Venmo, PayPal, whatever. Carrier pigeon. Exactly. And then as far as strike, like because we're a multi-purpose venue and we have acting classes within the space all week long, we're not really a space for big set pieces and stuff. So, and because there's going to be so many shows back to back, all of your set needs to in and out on a daily. We do have a couch and a rolly bar and a couple of like tables and stuff like that live in this space. But other than that, other than those pieces of furniture, there's not really going to be a lot of set.
run Hollywood Art House. We are also an acting studio, so any set pieces, large set pieces, have to go in and out for each show. If you have small things that can be discussed, we do have a backstage area with a small amount of storage that'll have to be discussed with booking. We do not take any of the box office. Box office is completely handled through you. We only require that there be someone at the front desk at all times. If you don't have your own person, you can talk to us and we will get someone that you can hire. And yeah, checking box office, that was that.
Michelle, the 3 clubs. You sell your own tickets and you keep your own money. It's the way that we do it all year round. We don't want any part of your money, so you keep it. Let's see what else. We will be extending our hours. We're usually open from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. every day of the year. But for Fringe, we do open early, like we're open all day on the weekends. But that being said, we will probably be booking lots of shows that are Fringe and then not Fringe. We don't have any storage space for any props or sets. I mean, that's not true. We do have a little storage space and we could maybe work something out. I didn't say that out loud.
We're breaking them down.
Anyway, but anyway, that being said, for the most part, though, there really is no space for anything. You have to kind of leave no trace, as they say. Let's see, what else? What else did, is that it?
For the Assistance League Theater, yes, you handle all your own box office. We're not a part of your money at all. And then for set pieces and strike, I mean, within reason, we do have a little bit of storage, but yes, you could, it's per my discretion. So you can negotiate with me, see what it is, but no gigantic walls or big, no big walls or anything huge like that. And then yes, strike has to be eventually, if your show is, the run of your show is done after the run of your show, you would have to strike all your stuff from the space.
Lauren, Actors Company, the box office which we do run for you is for your instructions. So you tell us if you want late seating, if you want whoever you want content, we run that. And at the end of each performance, we give you any cash that was returned plus an accurate box office record of everything that happened, so that if you wonder why someone didn't show up, it should be on there as to why they didn't show up, or that was reported as a no-show, or a walk-in, or whatever. So you get all that. We don't take any money from it. It's just to make sure that everything is smooth and quick. And as far as storage, there is none. So everything goes in and out with you. However, each space does have a certain number of black cubes that you can use, and they're very versatile. And they're actually, my recommendation always is to keep it really simple, because people will go with 6 cubes on the stage to be whatever. But once you introduce 1 or 2 set pieces, now they're cubes on the stage, where they were couches before. Once you start getting halfway, realistic, it takes away from that. So we do have a lot of cubes that can be used, and strongly recommend to do so.
Matthew Poole with Asylum. Yes, you're running the box office, you're handling your own money. If we're doing it, it comes back to you directly that day. It is in and out. One of our spaces, Furies, has some storage, but it's very rare, very small. And again, echoing simple is best, and things that can go in and out. I will ask, since this is the last one, just to pigeonhole in, there will be more talks about the awards. But Asylum, we do oversee the Encore, the Hollywood Encore Producers Award, the best effect that happens after Fringe. And there are several venues that run that with. So you will want to check with them that when you do strike, you maybe ask that for shows. I don't know if you want to do which venues are doing right now.
And this will also be in the participant package, so you can have that information. But yeah.
Right, so just point down.
Yeah. Oh, stage guys, yes.
Yes. Asylum.
Actors Company, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay, you're gonna do. Yeah, and you can do an encore. You can get an encore.
You can get all the awards.
You can get all. And the bomb. Okay, what's going on here? But yeah, and anybody else down there?
Claps for sure, yeah.
Yeah, great. All right, so that's Zephyr down there.
Zephyr.
And the mystery space is just located where again?
Within the Fringe border.
Excellent. So, excellent, great. So, yeah, and more will be said on that and in the participant package as well.
Did you get a chance to talk about?
Oh, and Ren Theater. Ren Theater is a little different. I mentioned this. It is being run more as a progressive box office split. So you will pay a little money up front, then you'll get that money back, and then we will split 50-50. You still have to pay insurance, and you have to pay the promotion package. So it is that set.
Your box office.
What's that? And we will run your box office, and the tech person is a very reasonable rate. And basically pay out for that money. We're going to work it. It will probably be the day of. It may be the day after. Tom, who is a wonderful owner of Import, kind of deals with the money. So I'm going to say 24 hours just to be on the safe side. But you will get your money back quickly in the box office.
The Broadwater, Pedrick. So yeah, you echoing a lot of what was said. You enter your own box office, so you keep all the money. There's no closeout with us. Our main stage, we have a little bit of storage, and then the other spaces we don't have any storage. And then yes, you can do encore at our place as well. But we also have the Best of Broadwater, which we administer, which is a jury award of what we consider to be the most exciting stuff in our space. And then we have a 1 weekend extension of those winners where we don't charge any rent. You just get to do your show, and we celebrate you winner shows. And we do also have a limited amount of furniture in all the spaces. So each space has a complement of cubes and chairs and tables and things like that.
Hudson Theater's similar, lots of cubes and bistro tables and things like that. Welcome to the box office. We handle the service footing. We'll operate box office. Any cash that comes, we'll give you that night. We don't take any percentage of your tickets or anything like that. Our box office staff will scan the report and the lists and everything. We'll have it as an email nightly as well. Emails and multiple emails.
Yeah. So it makes sense that we have to be out that night.
No, we do have storage space, so you can. We've actually had some shows with some pretty big sets, and we usually are able to accommodate walls and whatever. Like not crazy sets. It's great. But we've got a pretty decent amount of storage spaces in our bigger two theaters. In the smaller one, we have storage space. We can probably store everything. Usually, you don't have to take stuff home. And at the end of the festival,
Then stagecrafts. So box office. Obviously, we don't take any of your money. There's you just need to be able to pay the box office person for their time. It's a very low rate. I recommend. So you're going to sell a lot on the Fringe site. That's what I recommend to do. But I also really, really recommend for your box office person and for yourself, just make a little sign with your Venmo. Like that's fabulous. You want it to be as cashless as possible because you always have people like, I don't know, I don't have any cash. So if you can set up, something like Venmo, or even better, just go to the Fringe site, go into your show, and change where it says, I forget the
Ticket
exact
cutoff.
thing. Ticket cutoff time.
We'll talk this through for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can make it so that the Fringe site will sell your ticket up to like the second your show is supposed to start.
Is that the part that changed the 2?
It's at 3.
Oh, I thought it was at 0 now.
Oh, it was before. Always worth checking.
But we'll talk to you more about that. But cashless is super good, and then we don't have to like handle any money. But if there are people who do cash at the door and you guys are okay with that, great. And then the box office person we have a sign in and sign out sheet where we know all the totals and things like that. You go sign off on it, and they hand you the money. My recommendation for that is if you are going to take cash, for the love of all things, bring some receptacle for the cash.
That doesn't look like a cash box, please God. We live in Hollywood. It's
Right?
dangerous.
Have it be like a lunchbox or something, but we had someone who just had like an envelope that was just full of cash for her entire show, and then she was like, I lost the envelope, and it turned out it was in her car, so it was fine. But bring a receptacle for cash. And then for strike, it's generally we say, the Monday after Fringe, get your stuff out, or if you can that day, that's great. You want to think of Fringe as like theater camping, where you're like bringing it in, doing the thing, taking it out, right? If you can take everything out that same day, awesome. At Studio Stage, we have a little storage. Generally, I say yes to everyone until I'm in trouble, and I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. So talk to me about it if you have something. We also have at Studio Stage 4 rolling flats because we do have that unique psych wall, and sometimes people like to make different areas. We have a couch, we have chairs, we have tables, we've got blocks. We have a whole ton of stuff there. Howard Fine is an acting school, so they have a ton of stuff we can use as well. But there's a whole kitchen set, there's a couch, there's a ton of stuff. Matnani is going to probably be the least amount of like stuff already there. We will probably bring over some of our blocks just so that there's some blocks and things there. But that's
what?
Our cubes. Can we bring a few cubes over to the Matnani?
I think we could work that
we'll
out.
build
Sure.
some more maybe or
I just thought I tuned out for a second, and now all of a sudden things are getting promised.
This is how it works. So
I see why you married her.
Keep the farm.
So what? Yeah. So it's just let us know what you need. We'll help you out in terms of like figuring out how to make it work. But theater camping, anything like that.
Summer camp. Fringe has a lot of summer camp vibes to it. It's certainly a professional environment, but it's also a chance to refill your cup with energy with other artists and get excited and inspired about what you do, because what you do is fucking awesome, and it allows you to celebrate that with other people who are going to celebrate it too. So get excited about Fringe. I will say,
Lois, can I throw in just one thing when it comes to box office stuff? Hi guys, I'm Greg from Stagecrafts. I'm Jen's husband, and she's the much better, smarter, and better looking half of us. The one thing you did forget was if you are anticipating, we have box office tomorrow, but if you're anticipating cash being transacted at all, please provide us with a bank. Like $20, $50, small bills in an envelope, something that we can make change out of, because otherwise someone's going to hand us, your show's going to be $12.50, they're going to hand us a $20, and we're going to go, thanks for the donation. You know, I mean, like we want to be able to accommodate them. So if you're
ask your venue if they each venue is different on if they provide change or if they don't provide change. So it's an important question. If they are running your box office, they might not provide the change, so you'll need to provide it. Or if they are running your box office again, that venue might provide change.
Another
so
great reason to be cashless.
Yes.
yeah, and this, I think it's a great wrap up. Is like, remember, this is not going to be the only conversation. In fact, it really can't be. If you're doing Fringe, you can't just apply on the website. Maybe some of you have or are going to. You apply to the website. Your job is not done. You have to have these conversations with these venues, and it's going to be a part of the fun process too. You're going to have bonds. You're going to, create this network within the Fringe that will help you along your journey. So know that you're going to ask these questions again. In fact, right now we're going to do a quick Q&A, and then we're going to have a little informal session, so you can go to these venues directly. And hopefully, is everyone able to stay? A little bit, great. And if not, but again, we have office hours. Who's coming to office hours tomorrow night? So yeah, we'll have a chance tomorrow night. And we have office hours coming up in March. We start them every week. So not only are you going to have a chance to get to know these venues more, but you're going to have a chance to get to know the other artists who might run your box office, who might help you out in your venue and do help you move your set in and out because you have to carry it home every night. So all of these things will start to come together for you, I promise. And so with that, I'm just going to have every venue give me one word to describe Fringe. One word, no pressure.
Joy.
That's right.
Oh no.
Reverse.
There you go.
Energy.
Community.
Networking.
Chaos.
Excitement.
Friendships.
Art.
Yeah. So that's Fringe. Welcome. We can't wait to have you. Do you have any questions for these brilliant panelists?
Raise your hands high.
I have a question. It's a burning question that I heard. CJ.
Yes, sir.
The Assistants League Playhouse. Beautiful space. I've lit and designed in there before, but you mentioned storage as a possibility, and that was decided by you at your discretion. If I were bringing a show there, what bottle of alcohol would I have to slide under your door and have delivered to you? What is your beverage of choice that would get me to the head of the storage line?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. What kind of, I guess we can do pot. It's legal now. Like, what's your favorite strain?
You would only get storage for my theater. You would only get storage for if you were actually renting the space.
No, I understand that. I'm saying, so hypothetically, if I was bringing a show, what would you need? What would you need for me to be put at the top of the storage list and be considered for that?
Since we are first come, first serve, then we have to discuss what your show entails.
Okay.
And of course, it also depends on how full we get.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is very all.
So you're saying Johnny Walker Red would probably get me in there? Probably. All right.
I can answer for the Zephyr, bourbon or anything 420 will get you to the top of the storage list for the Zephyr, and we have storage available.
There's some.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn that into a real question and just go. Remember, you exist within a small community. Yes, there's a lot of us, but you exist within a small community. Treat each other well, right? Whatever that means. That doesn't mean. I mean, it could mean, thank you so much for this added thing you didn't have to do for my show. Here's a bottle of alcohol, or it could just mean kindness, right? So just remember that moving through that's going to help you get what is best for your show in this space. You have a question?
Johnny Walker Red.
I was saying, you actually, when we ask a question, tell us your name and your show. Let's start to market what show you're bringing to the festival if you know the title of it.
April Littlejohn. I'm actually learning this year, so I'm more prepared for next year.
I love it.
All right. Welcome.
Brilliant.
Thank you. You had mentioned that you had done blood. What theaters are okay with blood?
Well, we are. our first year of managing, someone asked us if it was okay to have a blood cannon. Still blood. There's still blood on our ceiling. We have a show that we produce every year called A Very Die Hard Christmas. We do it at the holidays, but we also did it at Fringe a couple years ago. We have a literal kiddie pool full of blood backstage. It's horrible. But I will say, yes, we make it okay, but we give you a lot of parameters. So, for instance, for the Blood Cannon show, they happened to be a vampire show that wanted to give out Jello shots, and they had a blood cannon. And we said, you know what? Only late night would be good for you, so that they were always the last show of the night. They had time to clean up. They weren't like under all this pressure of cleaning up. For Die Hard, because it was our show, of course, we have to hold ourselves up to really high standards because we're like, everyone has to get out in time, and we're not going to take advantage of anyone else. We had it was me, and it was like the stage manager and the whole cast. I mean, we had it choreographed down to a science of and we had tarps all over the floor backstage. We just rolled stuff up. We mopped really fast. Oh yeah, it was the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
We mopped really fast. We had 2 different mops. It was intense. So basically, if you can get out in time, go ahead and use blood.
Oh, I can get out in time.
I also
wondering who allowed.
Ask your venue. Each was separate, and if you come with a plan to the venue, say, hey, I want to have blood, but I plan on having it in a trough. I want to have blood, but I plan on putting down tarps across the whole stage as my pre-setup. We had mud flung in one show one year, and they had a whole white set, and they just paint tarped the floor. And so then after every show, they just wrapped it up like a plastic tarp you put down when you paint. And they just put that over the whole stage, and it was part of their set. And then at the end of the day, they just wrapped it up, and then they dealt with cleanup outside the venue. So ask your venue what they're allowing, but if you come with a plan, most are going to say yes over, I want to have blood flung everywhere. Okay, what else? How are you, what's your plan? And know your load in and out time and how that affects. Some venues will allow you to book more load in and out time, so it might be smart to do 15 minutes in, but 30 minutes out to allow yourself more time to clean up.
And some venues will let you do if your show is an hour, but you book a 90-minute slot, that will give you a lot more time. It will cost you more money, but it's going to give you a lot more cleanup time. And also, if you need a blood recipe that cleans up really well,
I make my own blood.
I have
Me
too. On my blog.
There you go. There you go.
I was just going to add to that in general, communicate with your venue up front on anything odd. Do not throw it in at the tech. Do not come in with the thing of blood. So all of us want to help. We're here to serve. So communicate with us. Problem solve, like Amber's saying, coming up with a plan. But tell us. Do not keep secrets.
And be okay if someone says no. Like, they might say no. And I mean, I know that at some of the other venues that we manage, because we don't actually, like, that's not actually our home, we'd have to jump through a couple hoops to get the okay. So, yeah, you know, just find the venue that works for you.
I'd also jump out to say, like, just talk to your venues. The people who are sitting up on that stage right there have been doing this for a long time. I run this building, and I have seen some things. I can also advise you to be like, oh, if you want to spray blood all over the wall, this is how we did it before, and this is how it worked. Or, if you're going to spray blood all over the wall, just don't do it over here, because this is what happened. Talk to us. We have ideas and know how to make it a success.
Hollywood Fringe Festival venues, blood experts.
It's true.
Any other questions? Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You all sound so kind and sweet and welcoming. I really, really appreciate it. It's been a long time since I've performed, and I'm looking for a womb to be nourished in. So this sounds really wonderful. I'm going to do, I'm Aria. I'm an artist of the divine, and I'm going to do one goddess show. And there's music in my show, and so I'm wondering about acoustically. What is the ambient? And I know this is quite a transcendental question, but if you can speak about the acoustics of the venue, because it's not a musical, but there is intimate music that tells a story. So I want to create an intimate atmosphere, but it's not like a wham bam, thank you man, sort of, you know, here I am. So I want to create that kind of, come into my living room and sit on my couch and hear my heartbeat.
I think you gotta tour a lot of places. Like, you need to feel your space for that. I think like you say that, and I think Howard Fine, because it's like of our venues, because it's like the honey hardwood floors and the wooden beams, and there's like a hidden chandelier. Like, but maybe you get in there and feel something different, and maybe like something else. So I would say if you have something really specific like that, especially that it is very like, you know, something that, it's very personal, that you need to connect with, get out there and tour.
You can also request the venues. I mean, I would request before you set up the tour, but they might be able to play music for you so you can hear what the space sounds like, if that's something that's really important to you.
I might even bring my music to the...
Yes, most are an aux
Thank
output,
you.
so if you have an iPhone, you'll need a dongle. Most theaters don't provide the dongles. It's an iPhone, like when you don't have a headphone jack in your phone anymore, the converter to go from whatever your phone outputs
It's an iPhone to Lightning adapter.
And speaking of music, the instruments, I do bring my own Yamaha, or is there a piano or keyboard?
Who has a piano or keyboard?
Yeah, we have a couple pianos in two of our spaces.
We don't have anything, but we can run your keyboard through our system.
And if you'd like to come to a show, you could come as my guest and see how our acoustics, everything is carpeted and paneled.
And now you've got quite an atmosphere, because you've got different rooms, and you said there's different. Is there a bleed through with the sound?
Yes.
But your audience won't notice.
Yeah. Well, if they're engaged, they won't hear anything but you.
Well, darling, that's so true.
I would point out, has anyone noticed the window is open and there is traffic sound going by?
Yeah.
But no one's really noticed because you're engaged and listening and focused up here. That's how it is for every audience, no matter what space you're in.
We run film festivals, so we have surround sound, and it's at a high level because filmmakers are very picky, far more picky than anyone can be.
But that is a good thing to ask, especially with the venues that have multiple spaces like mine, is that even the ones that are really sonically good, there will be in a festival, there will be bleed. And most festival audiences don't care. The rules are different, right?
Yeah.
If you're seeing a legit play on 8 p.m., you're like, I can hear this. In a festival, you feel like you're part of something. So, but if your show is really about really having that silence, or really having that thing, then a multi-venue place might not be the best.
Yeah, I think we had a pop-up venue one year where a parade was going by one day that we didn't know was going to happen. That was hard to ignore.
We will have Pride and the LA Marathon happen during June.
And the
So
coastal.
like it's a whole thing. But yeah, I think and all the venues are gonna be honest too. Like they're not gonna like lie about the acoustics not being like when you get there like oh it's gonna be silent. They're gonna let you know too, so you at least know what to expect and can pivot your show to fit what your needs are gonna be.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, I got a question over here. Yes.
Same as ours.
Oh.
Rush. So Andy Wasif, I don't have a title. It's me doing stand-up, screen, short films, and a few sketches, I guess, on the screen, as opposed to bringing in other actors, having it all up there. So I've narrowed down, I guess, a few of the more practical venues for myself. But our next step is to essentially just say what I just said in an email, and hey, here's what I want, and you either say yay or nay, or yeah, come on in, and then it's just going into tour. Is that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the best way you're gonna feel what you want is by touring. See what they have, see what we offer, and then you can decide.
And this is about learning to be a producer. And part of that is meeting everybody in the community. So this is a great opportunity, and with encores and afterwards, you may start in one space and move to another. That happens all the time. So it's good to know, to meet everyone. It's very accessible community.
And we are all a community, so if you come to like our venue and you're just describing things that I just know won't fit in our venue, especially for Fringe, I'm gonna say, well, why don't you go try this venue? Why don't you go try that venue? And go tour them, and then you can certainly come back. But we're all friends here, so we want to make sure that you find the venue that fits your show, and we're not just trying to hoard you all for ourselves, because there are plenty of you to go around.
Cool. And follow up, when should be the deadline of like having done all the touring and is it February 1 when you register?
So it just depends on the year basically and the venue. So for instance, Studio Stage, we have room for I think 18 shows this year, and we generally sell out the middle of February. So we already have 6 shows booked. So some are sooner rather than later. But if you have, because you have specific needs that you're looking for, so you might want to like narrow that down pretty quickly and just reach out to those venues.
Sending out emails.
Yeah.
We definitely don't want to miss the guy.
End of March it's crazy, but by February, early February,
yeah.
Start now.
Yes,
sure. Start now.
I was on your call. I know. Yeah.
And know that and also you're not going to run out of spaces at this point. Like where there's lots of venues, and there's more venues that are even here tonight on our website. You're going to see even over the next month more venues get added to that. And so there will still be space. And technically, you can register for the festival in May and still participate in June. You just won't be in the guide, and there will still be space, but you won't get your pick of all of the spaces. So just the earlier you start, the better chance you're going to have to be really happy with that home. And the more venues you now got to view that you will maybe use for the next Fringe, or for the show you do in 3 months, or you can show your friend does. I know the perfect venue. I was there last month. So this is just part of that producer's training ground, and look at Fringe in that way too. I am going to close it out only because we want to have a little bit of time for networking so that you can talk to these individual venues that have really piqued your interest. Ellen, I see a hand. How did I see that? I can't see anything.
I just really wanted to quickly say that there's also the bring your own venue option too.
Yes.
So within our zone, if you're like, there's this perfect space, it's not a Fringe venue, but I have a relationship with them. There's been shows in apartments like Lois brought it up, and so just email support@hollywoodfringe.org if you're like, I have this idea and I need to know how to make it work. We'll help you out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's insurance. You're allowed to be there if that means permitting for a public space, or if that means it's your apartment and you're allowing yourself and your landlord to chill with it. We've had an immersive artist who did a whole show in her apartment. Twice. Yeah, and because it was in the zone, right? If it's in the zone and all of the legalities check out, by all means, you have your own adventure. We love to see it take it weird at Fringe. We love it. So I am going to have time to talk to all of these wonderful panelists during our little networking session. But we have the questions. I want to remind everyone that scholarships close when? Saturday.
Friday.
Yes, 14th.
Well, yes.
PM. Yes, so please give those a look. And the closing night of the Hollywood Fringe Festival is? I need to remember that, so I'm going to keep asking every year, because apparently I don't know. So, yes, we're going to see you tomorrow at the Broadwater Plunge. We can't wait. It's going to be our second to last off season, and then in March we start doing networking every week. So it's the ease in before the storm really kicks off. That's it, y'all. Thank you for joining us. Happy 2023.
Right here around the corner.
Recently I I'm an actor, so I was in Zombie event for Monster Jeffrey Dahmer story, and Entertainment Common. So, that's important. The same for the judge, it's all part of it. Like, oh, you're here, yeah, I'm gonna let you work your job. My dad's a lawyer, so I know how lawyers are. The venue, whether he did or not, if he told me he was a lawyer, I guess I gotta try to prove that. It was interesting. Oh, really? So, and I taught very classes where I was manager of the Sherry Shop video. You know her, that the place that I've ever been outside of my apartment, going out a couple of times.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I saw you looking at me. I was like,
hear about the
take care. Nice to meet you.
I know.
I'm going on vacation next week.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Good. I'm prepared to come. That's why I'm doing
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, God.
Yeah, and for you, when you come in, yeah, we'll send it.
Oh, that's yeah, oh, fantastic. And then from there, you can compare with and so keep ourselves free with that, like juicing, and so I need some honestly, I had oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. I know because I feel hilarious. This is hilarious. The how many people I don't know this. Really fun. The whole time So,